So here's the thing. Extended franchises can start to seem like runaway trains. And the fact that there's literally a runaway train in this new Mission Impossible movie just makes that analogy perhaps more appropriate. 7 movies into this nearly 30-year-old franchise, and one has to wonder, are these movies finding entertaining ways to stay fresh? Or is this series on the verge of derailing? I have definitive answers to that question and a lot to say about this stunt-filled, action-packed mission at hand. No spoilers though, I promise. In Mission Impossible movies, the message always self-destructs in 5 seconds.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Interestingly enough, that is exactly how long it takes Pabst Blue Ribbon to age their whiskey. See, says so right here on the bottle. And also, I just had to share that this is a thing. So today, I'm sipping on Pabst Blue Ribbon whiskey and reviewing the highly anticipated movie Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. A virus is rapidly spreading across the entire world's computer networks, collecting data and quickly growing its intelligence. The only way to stop it involves collecting 2 halves of a key, then figuring out what it's for. This is Ethan's daring mission, but one of his old foes is executing a meticulously calculated plan on behalf of the computer virus, now known as the Entity, in order to prevent anyone from finding and using the key. Whoever has the key has the potential to control the Entity as their own cyber weapon, and it's up to Ethan and his trusty team to destroy the Entity before control of it falls into the wrong hands. I have to start by saying the technicals on this movie are top notch. Like this car chase scene.
People are chasing us.
Yes, they are. You're driving.
So fun, so thrilling, so funny, and just so real. With so many big budget blockbuster films half-assing an overabundance of CGI, it is just so refreshing to have a movie that is just as thrilling with practical effects. For this reason and more, folks, I 100% recommend seeing this movie in IMAX. The standard screening is fine, I guess, but you're really selling this experience short if you don't have that huge IMAX-sized screen and the incredible sound system. Having said all that, there's still some things I need to nitpick about. Firstly, the story is quite convoluted. There's a submarine, there's an ever-evolving entity, there's a gaggle of villains, there's 2 halves of a key, and there's a constantly revolving door of plans to give half of it away and then get it again. It makes for a whirlwind of a story, and while it doesn't necessarily sabotage the movie, it certainly doesn't do it any favors either. And then there's an incredible aspect of absurdity built into the quote-unquote impossible missions. Dead Reckoning is filled with enough illogical moments and implausible events to challenge pretty much anyone's suspension of disbelief. But Dead Reckoning Part 1 absolutely upholds that fun factor that we've come to expect from the Mission Impossible franchise. Big stunts, tense scenes, and an absolutely stellar cast keep this movie thoroughly entertaining, and in the end, that's what tips the scale in a favorable way for me. Part 1, Part 2 movies have this annoying tendency of putting years of time in between the 2 movies. So the fact that Dead Reckoning Part 2 comes out next summer makes this incomplete story a little bit more tolerable. And despite its flaws, I really do think that Dead Reckoning Part 1 is going to rank very high as one of the best action thriller blockbuster experiences we will see in theaters this summer. Clearly, I can't recommend going to see Dead Reckoning Part 1 highly enough. Speaking of clear, I am sure you have noticed the very transparent nature of this whiskey. If you didn't know, all whiskeys start clear, and they earn their brown or caramel color and their flavor from the barrel aging process. Because this bottle is aged for apparently 5 seconds, you don't get that brown color that we're used to in other whiskeys, nor does it have a lot of the tasting notes that come with other whiskeys. It's certainly different in a number of ways. There's a lot of corn flavor in this, and honestly, I also taste a little pine. I don't know about everyone else, but there's some characteristics to this that remind me of some gins that I've had. Do I recommend putting this on high rotation in your whiskey collection? Absolutely not. But it's fun having a bottle, and at a pretty reasonable price point, it also makes for a fun gift. Because between Dead Reckoning and PBR whiskey, fun above all should be the ultimate theme and takeaway from this episode. Follow me on Letterboxd if you want to see my rating for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and head over to For Real if you want to read more reviews and content from me and my incredible team of writers over at thisisforreal.com. This is Real Buzzed, and if you like this video and you want to see more, hit like and subscribe.